Welcome to the House of Life Dialogues, a podcast for the brave, the visionary, and those building sacred lives in a modern world. I am Maria of Egypt, and in each episode, we explore grounded wisdom, sacred entrepreneurship, and the art of choosing love over fear. This is not a performance, it's a remembering. Welcome everyone for today's episode. Today we are going to talk about practicing courage in uncertain times. So let's talk a bit about courage. What does it really feel to be courageous? What does courage really mean? I think from my perspective, courage is when you feel this bit of fear inside of you and anxiety about taking a next step or making a different decision than what you are used to and leaning into it. The more you practice it in the small things, the easier it gets when you are faced with big decisions. So I think it's like everything. It's practice every day. How about you go trying something new? Maybe you are scared of swimming in the sea. How about you dip your foot today in the water? And maybe tomorrow you can, go and walk a little bit in the sea. And then maybe after that you can just go for 30 seconds in the sea. It gets in a rhythm and in a flow when you try to do it bit by bit. But it's very difficult to try to jump and do something really brave when you haven't practiced this before. You would look at it as if it's a big mountain. I can't do this. This would sound crazy. Everyone would, judge me, or I would be criticized. When you see it as a very big thing, you would be intimidated to do it. But if you see it as a goal and you take little steps every day to reach this big decision, it becomes a bit easier. And it gives your nervous system the container of safety, practicing it every day. So and this is part of self-love really, it's treating yourself as a child. Because when you are raising your child up, you don't ask them to do something really big straight away. You don't ask a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old to start running or riding a bike. You do it slowly with them, you introduce movement and you hold their hands and you start teaching them how to walk. You carry them when they fall down. You don't shame them when they do the wrong thing. It's part of the process. You give them more confidence. And the more you practice this with yourself, the more you develop this good relationship with yourself, the easier it is for you to take courageous decisions. I would say being brave is a very important quality for an entrepreneur, because they are creating something possibly that hasn't been done before in the way that they are creating. So they need to have a big amount of bravery and courage and risk-taking. Some of them really can go above and beyond, and some of them are not there yet. But I think one of the main skills of an entrepreneur is the more risk you can take, the quicker the decision-making skill is, the quicker the fine-tuning happen. So I wouldn't say just act irrational, but if it scares you a bit, I would say lean into it, take a step. If it's a wrong decision or if it's a mistake, it's easier for you to come back from it rather than just sitting and contemplating, shall I do this, shall I not do this? I would say go for it, and then you can course correct later. It develop your discernment in your decision. It develop your relationship with yourself and your intuition. The more you practice getting out of your comfort zone and making these brave decisions. Fear is a very important stepping stone in the sacred creation, whether it's a business or in general, because it signals to you that you are in uncharted territory. You are outside of your comfort zone. So your system would start giving you anxiety and fear and this worrying feeling and this adrenaline. It's signaling that, watch out, you are getting ahead of yourself. You are getting outside of what we are used to. It doesn't do this to harm you. It just gives you like a nudge to stay safe. So you just treat it as your friend. You calm it down. You learn how to self-regulate, and you take the right step as well. Sometimes you don't have to do something massive. You can just take a baby step, it will create this, exciting feeling. And sometimes you would say, oh, I wish I couldn't done that, or I wish I haven't done this. Don't shame yourself in taking a step in the direction that you haven't been through. You would only know if you try. So I would say lean into fear, take the step, course correct later, it's fine. Don't shame yourself, because shame only keeps you stuck and makes your energy less flowy. So I would say just be gentle with yourself. Lots of the entrepreneurs that I work with, they suffer from burnout. I personally suffered from burnout for quite some time. And I think it's an inevitable part of the journey, because your vision is bigger than you, and you are spreading yourself thin in many directions, trying to make it all come together. But I think one crucial step is trying to find the right people, because it is actually more fun to co-create with others. And if you sense that your nervous system is kind of getting out of hand, it's crucial to have rest days. So I would really schedule in my week rest days. They are as important as the working days, because if my nervous system doesn't have the capacity to make decisions and think sharp and be certain about a certain direction, I would really mess up the whole boat with the people who are working with me. So I need to be very clear where I'm going as much as I can. I need to be very regulated, so I would be able to take stronger decisions in a certain direction. And this only comes when your nervous system is regulated. So rest is equally important as works. I would say even more important than work. Somebody asked me, what's the link between courage and clarity? I think they can be buddies, and sometimes they can go against each other. So certainty is something that you can cultivate within yourself. In the Christian faith, or in the faith around the world, they call it faith. But faith is believing in something that you don't see. You are the only one who is certain about it. If you believe that you are really well protected and very well taken care of through spirit, whatever you believe in, that gives you the sense of certainty and gives you the courage to pivot and take steps outside of your comfort zone. So I would say certainty is the main ingredient in making your vision come true to life, because you are the only one who carry it, and you are the only one who can master this skill of certainty, or we can call it faith. You believe in something that didn't come true yet, but you know that's where you're heading, and that's what makes it happen quickly. They have been talking about it in the law of attraction. They have been talking about it in the law of assumption. They have been talking about it in all the religions in the world. It's the same concept. Whatever you believe in comes to life. You are a very powerful being. And the more you work with your nervous system, the more you are regulated, the more you befriend yourself, the easier for you to bring your vision into creation. That doesn't mean that you wouldn't feel uncertain or you would feel doubt. It's a healthy sign that you are creating something new. It's normal to be uncertain because you still don't have physical evidence of what you believe in. It is normal to have doubt. It's normal to even call it off. That's your normal human behavior. I wouldn't shame it. I would work with it. I would sit down. If I feel crippled by uncertainty, I would sit down and I would try to regulate myself for however long it would take. Sometimes it can take minutes, sometimes it can take hours or even days before making any decision that is rash. That's how I practiced to get out of self-doubt, is like I would leave it to release its energy in my system. I would stay there, I would listen attentively, and I would know it's coming out to protect me. And then I would regulate myself, and then I might make a decision, depend on how am I in alignment at that point. It's not always a bad thing to feel uncertain. It's not always a bad thing to feel fear. Sometimes it is nudging you in the right direction, and you can practice this through your alignment. So remember, ride the excitement, use the energy of anxiety and worry into the direction of courage. Don't try to suppress it. Use it, alchemize it in that way, because it is the energy of excitement. Be excited about doing something new. What is the worst that can happen? You would make a mistake, you can correct it. At least you won't regret that you haven't done what you dreamed of. Your body is your temple, your vision is sacred, and your courage to live it, that's what builds a house of life. I am Maria of Egypt. Until next time, walk boldly, live wisely, and choose love.